Listen up when I talk. I'm giving you the realest. I'm giving you my heart. This could take you to the dealership. Cop the whip that you wanna. Don't come back with that Honda. Have a whip game so proper, they looking up when they talking down. Cause you know that they don't approve if you don't let it show. Well, we got nothing to prove, man. In the streets like we got nothing to lose, man. My homies are rolling, pushing the whip like it's stolen. At 4 in the morning, at 4 in the morning. My homies are rolling, pushing the whip like it's stolen. At 4 in the morning, at 4 in the morning. Zoning, at 4 in the morning. Yeah, I'm zoning, at 4 in the morning. My homies are rolling, pushing the whip like it's stolen. At 4 in the morning, at 4 in the morning. My homies are rolling.
I just finished bartending and it's 3 a.m. Heard you at the after party with your girlfriends, I like your girlfriends there, but the life every time I'm in the building, man, they on the white girl rockin' upper. Her favorite song is Chingy right there. She got an X-Man like a scissor, but she stick to the script like a doctor. I brought some ramen pineapple to my ting-ting. She said, please keep it quiet, my roommates are sleeping. So I'm quietly creeping under the bed, I'm overachieving. In tango, Shazia, but you got a key. I like him when you spit, push against to me. Then I got a text from a man saying, where you at, we got a dip. It's 4 a.m.
My homies are rolling, pushing the whip like it's stolen. At 4 in the morning, at 4 in the morning. My homies are rolling, pushing the whip like it's stolen. At 4 in the morning, at 4 in the morning. Zoning, at 4 in the morning. Yeah, I'm zoning, at 4 in the morning. My homies are rolling, pushing the whip like it's stolen. At 4 in the morning, at 4 in the morning. My homies are rolling.
Jesus Christ, that was a heavy night. What went on? It's moments like this where I take a step back and I think about all the things that are good in my life and all the things that could possibly come in the future. Just picture what I envision. Got God locked in the system, pin loaded with ammunition. Down a highway
Let's go. Grimy niggas get sprayed. Cockroach type goons killing with the raid. You can't get the show without the pain, but I'm getting money off of this whole pain.
Shine like diamond rings. No, I won't change a thing. Just you and me together forever and ever.
So much money out here, you can't even comprehend it. We getting it, not spend it. We on another mission. Can't even club with you, cause you not no competition. Stacking money, I'm stacking money, I'm stacking money. We been getting it. Stacking money, I'm stacking money, I'm stacking money. We been stacking it up. Stacking money, I'm stacking money, I'm stacking money. We been getting it. Stacking money, I'm stacking money, I'm stacking money. We been stacking it up.
Instagram with your rent money, boy, you ain't got no dough. And your boys with your rotten face, but you ain't gotta explain to me, bro. See her bag faking, your J's faking her weave, she got on clearance. But you smoking quiche and you popping rocks, well, I'm better without you like turns. Spent 106 on these jeans, 1200 on these shoes. Call up Frankie Diamonds if you want the quote on these jewels. You can have the playbook, but still you can't stop these moves. Why would I want your girl do when my Penelope Cruz? When I hit the scene, Mr. Clean, kid check the team, diamonds on gleam, screaming blink when the sun beam, sipping on some lean, stacking cream, living out my dreams, fresh as Listerine. Bar, what the fuck you mean? If that's stacking, I'm laughing. After this lesson, I'm taxing. Diversification, young boy, that's how you bring them stacks in. But I'm over their head when I talk about bread. They think they stacking something. For real, boy, you frontin'. Cause we ain't seen nothing.
Stacking money, I'm stacking money, I'm stacking money. We been getting it. Stacking money, I'm stacking money, I'm stacking money. We been stacking it up. Stacking money, I'm stacking money, I'm stacking money. We been getting it. Stacking money, I'm stacking money, I'm stacking money. We been stacking it up. And baby took it back to the basics. That was for the haters. Now we entertain them, upgrade them to a level they ain't seen before. We been stacking dough, doing shows on the low. Now we living, spending, sipping on yachts, we getting it. No, we not pretending. Y'all
Have you ever heard the engine or the ghost running? If you say you mine, nigga, let me hold something. Real recognize real, they be no frontin'. Put that money where your mouth is, that's stunning. Have you ever heard the engine or the ghost running? If you say you mine, nigga, let me hold something. Real recognize real, they be no frontin'. Put that money where your mouth is, that's stunning. Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you ever heard the engine or the ghost running? So close to the money, I can see it coming. Watch me make it squirt, wet like vaginas. No co-signers, big like designers. My fashion all black, rockin' camo. Black Timberlands, I call symbols. If I wish a nigga dead, that's revenge though. Screw the silence on tight and watch his melon blow. I got demons of my own, my shit be suicidal. Mama friend's son killed himself with the rifle. If you don't believe me, I swear right hand on the Bible. My life changed for the better, they gon' say it's worse. Cause I ain't outside banging out there putting work. When niggas outside dying trying to move that work. How can I wish 100 goons to really pray for me? When living out there in them trenches is like slavery. Father forgive me, death to haters, leave them 6 feet. Have you ever heard the engine or the ghost running? If you say you mine, nigga, let me hold something. Real recognize real, they be no frontin'. Put that money where your mouth is, that's stunning. Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you ever heard the engine or the ghost running? My life changed for the better, they gon' say it's worse. Cause I ain't outside banging out there putting work. I had to bring that part back just to remind myself. My cousin died, I left shorty. Am I myself? I found myself by myself even though I'm taken. Liam Nilsson working hard like a Jamaican. 2 babies, I am the father, where's the bacon? 2 80s, fully loaded, keep noted. Any given day reloaded, burn notice. Luxury items, I fantasize, big lotus. 4-door, British, European, just dreaming shit. Crib so big, I need an island, overseas and shit. Drop top roof in my kitchen, iced tea and shit. Stars lit up in the ghost, you not seeing shit. Toast all over the butter, obese and shit. You come talking that gutter, watch my pieces hit. Have you ever heard the engine or the ghost running? If you say you mine, nigga, let me hold something. Real recognize real, they be no frontin'. Put that money where your mouth is, that's stunning. Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you ever heard the engine or the ghost run? Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you ever heard the engine or the ghost running? Have you ever heard the engine or the ghost running? If you say you mine, nigga, let me hold something. HHPOV.
Yeah.
What's up?
Why do we start like that? Is that your intro? Like yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Thursday, 6 to 8, Heroes Headquarters.
Clap,
Heroes
clap,
HQ
clap.
presents HHPOV, Hip Hop Point of View.
Mm-hmm.
Bravo, Captain.
What's up? It's your girl Tay.
Yeah.
It's been a minute, but I'm back.
Yeah. It's the end of February. We're going into March. Spring is across the street and around the corner.
It's Women's History Month.
We waiting for that.
March.
Black History Month.
Yeah, Black History Month. Well, I think Black History Month is every year. Some people celebrate once a year.
No, it's every day.
I celebrated 365 days of the year.
Black History years. Years, you know what I'm saying? Some interesting things, some nice Black history. Shout out, super salute to Spike Lee.
Yes.
Winning his first. But it's all good though, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, everybody say, oh, you should have won this, you should have this many. You know what, man? Sometimes it takes years for people to recognize
real
art.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, but Spike got it. And that's what's up. Black Klansman was funny as
I do think that, you know, I personally got choked up when I saw the picture. I didn't see it live. But then when people post, like, just the fact that Samuel L. Jackson presented it and gave it to him, also, I think, for me, was just the icing on the cake. Yeah. Like, somebody that he considered to be somebody that was his friend and has been in the business. Has Samuel, I'm pretty sure he's won Oscars, right?
No.
He's never won an Oscar? Samuel L. Jackson?
Nah, he's been nominated.
Nominated, but
his roles.
On. But I love
you know
Samuel.
what it is though.
He's
you
been
know what
in
it is
so
though.
many movies.
You know what it is though. He's been just like Denzel.
Denzel's never won an Oscar.
Denzel's only won one.
One, yeah.
Yeah, and it took him to be a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good though because like I had seen an interview from Denzel that explained a lot, and I get certain people.
Okay.
And a lot of people, they don't do it for the pat on the back and the awards. They do it because this is what they
This is
feel.
what they do. This is their art, their passion.
And they can get their best out. So, you know, you're not always going to get an award and congratulated for the great, good things that you do. You know what I'm saying? You just got to keep doing and keep pushing, and your work inspires somebody else. And if a person wins an award off of what they did from being inspired by you, hey, you did your job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You put the next man on. Yeah, but it's crazy too because I actually noticed that Spike needs his
own category,
a hip hop Lifetime Achievement Award.
I agree.
Because he is the one that has represented this culture from jump to now. And everything he does, some way, somehow, he represents that. He represents, you know, race, not just black, everybody. You know, he's the first one, I think. He's like one of the first ones to really kind of put race relations in movies like that. And really make it part of the movie without saying it's part of the movie. You know what I'm saying? If people don't understand, he did Jungle Fever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He did Do the Right Thing.
Do the Right Thing was a phenomenal movie.
So a lot of things, even School Days, when it was light skin versus dark skin. So you know what I'm saying? He's always touched on them bases, man. And if you didn't understand that, you didn't get that, then do your research. You learn something every day. It's all good. You know? But shout out to Spike Lee, Brooklyn, New York. You know what I'm saying? Putting one on for us.
I think the best
and staying true to his art, staying true to himself. He won being him.
The best meme that I did see was that I just thought it was humorous. It wasn't trying to play anybody, but they said maybe that'll bring some good luck charm to the New York Knicks. That they need to win for the strength of Spike Lee.
Listen, man.
He is loyal. That's what I would say. He is loyal.
Yeah,
he is loyal. His loyalty for the Knicks is beyond to just hip hop.
His loyalty
to himself and anything he
gets
does.
Involved in.
He's just insane.
It's real. You know,
that's
every
a true
year,
ride or die.
Every year he does.
A true ride or die to be a Knicks fan.
Every year he does a Michael Jackson celebration in Brooklyn. He does a Prince celebration in Brooklyn. He
came to the 2 years ago to the the Curl Fest in Brooklyn in Prospect Park, and he was one of the people who came out, and that was the first time that I got a chance to see him. So that was really phenomenal to have a black male come through to represent the curly girls.
Oh yeah, it's BK, man. He's gonna put on for BK.
Yeah. Was it Regina King who won?
I remember that.
Regina King. Congratulations to her. Yeah. I did just see I think the show is called 7 Seconds on Netflix. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, watched the whole thing through for 2 days, and that's all I watched in learned so much about, and it most definitely broke a lot of barriers, but it's hard to see because I think that we live a lifestyle that other people only see on TV. So it was like, it was showing the corruption of police and, white cop killed the black child and tried to get away with it. So it's hard to see, but it's like, that's our reality per se.
You know what's crazy about that? And I said this a couple of times. I said this when the beginning of the Black Lives Matter and everything. And this isn't knocking anybody right now going through the struggle. But the struggle has always been there. It's just that nowadays you have instant access to getting this news feed, to seeing it. Like, there is no, like, waiting for the newspaper 2 or 3 days to kind of clean it up and then present it to you. And then you get it, you're like, oh, wow, this happened. Like, you get it instantly. So, like, it's been going on. It's been going on. And it's going to continue to go on because, we live in a world of love and hate. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is, period. I don't particularly try to jump too much into the race division. Dividing of races. I got plenty of white friends. I grew up with some white friends who were cooler than the spring breeze. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's a lot of it's just a lot of I'm better than you. You know what I'm saying? I'm better than you. Like, and at the end of the day, I always get slapped for this when I say this, but we do more damage. We do more damage to ourselves than anybody else, man.
Of course.
Because, like,
I think permanent damage as well.
Yeah, because we could do it to ourselves and it's okay, and then as soon as someone else do something to us, it's a big thing. But then it's like what they say. If you don't respect yourself, how you expect somebody else to respect you? You know what I'm saying? So we got to chill doing ourselves dirty. Once we chill doing ourselves dirty, we get ourselves together, then we could go fix up everybody else. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm going to say this, and believe it or not, man, as much as everybody puts the black race down and everything, they want to be black, though. At the end of the day, because when it come to what happens, white folk get tans. I got a tan. They want to look like us. No, let's be real.
I agree. I just you are very passionate.
They want to wear what we wear. They want to walk and talk how we talk. They want to be cool like us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But nobody wants to actually be in the shoes of a black person. You know what I'm saying?
I think it also goes on so many different aspects. There was something that I read today that had to deal with hair and hairstyles. I'm not sure. Are there any popular, I guess besides braids, popular male hairstyles that tried to been imitated?
Fades.
Fades? Because I would say they somebody in the industry wore a hairstyle and then they compared it to somebody else that was black and they were like, oh, this fresh new brand, of ponytail that this, whatever. It was like, hold on. We've been had this style for many, many, many years prior to this, person wearing it. But I don't know from the male's point of view, or do we think, is there like a hip hop? Oh, maybe when I think about hip hop hairstyles, I think about Salt and Pepper when they used to have that like, what was that phase?
The slant and the Gumby,
and what is that? The Gumby?
Yeah, the males had Gumbies. The females had the slant.
Okay.
Something else. It was called something else too. But that, I ain't gonna lie, that was like one of the dopest hairstyles, man.
The Gumby?
No, that woman joint with the slant with the
the slide on the flip and the come. Oh, with the one eye.
Oh my God,
you swoop that little one eye.
But you
know who do it? Sanaa Lathan does it.
But you had to be right. You had to be right though.
And you had to have the face expression. I mean, facial features to match.
But
that's still in the play. That right now, people get the one swoop.
Yeah. So it is that, man.
Do you think the Gumby will come back?
I mean, they try to, like, the younger generation try to do it, bring back 90s. Sir, you know what it is, man?
Bro.
Sir, you know what it is, though?
What is it?
It's, even though it's us as a race and as a culture, some things just can't be imitated. You just got to leave it alone because
Oh, you
when
think so?
when you're trying to remake something over, there's no genuine risk at it. You know what I'm saying?
So do you think the same thing when it comes to TV, or not TV shows, but TV movies?
Yeah.
I mean, movies. I think that a movie
think
was
certain
just
things-
released.
I think certain things
and I
just
was
shouldn't
like,
be
man,
touched.
they shouldn't have
Certain
done
things
that.
just
I
shouldn't be
know
touched.
that we
They're
wanted
classics.
to. What movie was that with Halle Berry in it and Eddie Murphy? Oh man, the movie that was like a long time ago. It was very popular.
Was that Boomerang?
Boomerang, and then they had a new version. They have a new version of it now, like the new millennial Boomerang or something. And I'm like, please, no. I mean, you should just. Yeah, it's a TV show now, but I'm like, well, why don't you just call it something new?
Change the name.
Just change the name and make
That's
it
it.
something new. Don't have references to the Boomerang and try to revamp it.
And also too, when you do stuff like that, you're kind of cheating. You're kind of cheating society because it's like it's letting people know that you're not as creative. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, let me just do this over. Like that's lazy. That's being sloppy. You know what I'm saying? Certain things you just can't do over. Like they're classics. Like just let that live, man. Let that stay there where it needs to be, and just be a classic because you go back. Like certain things, like I just watched Juice over.
Okay.
I just watched Juice again.
No,
on
they
Netflix.
better not. Are they trying to remake Juice?
Oh no. Let me tell you this.
No.
What was a big thing, and they're doing How High too.
They're doing
right?
How,
but
How,
Redman and Meth is not in it.
So who's in it? How are you gonna do it? How you gonna?
Is it Little Uzi Vert?
Ew.
It's one of the. It's two of these new rappers.
They have
right
to be
now.
in it.
But the thing is that Red was upset about it. He was talking about it. He was like, "Yo, they doing it over," and he was like, "You know what? What makes it even worse is that not only are you doing it over, you got new actors. It's cool, but you didn't even call them up and consult with them and say, yo, we're doing it over. You know, like, how do you guys
That's a double
feel?
negative.
So it's like, yo, you're shitting on the people that made it what it is for you to make a remake or make a sequel.
So what would you like to see, or if there was an opportunity for it to be remade in a good light or a good way, would it be anything?
Nah.
Or like a show that came out now. I feel like we are missing really good shows, TV shows that I wish that. No, I wish. What show was that with the Waynes?
What, Living Color?
Yeah, Living Color. I mean, I wish that it was still here in this lifestyle, in this lifetime.
The reason why
I didn't want it to die.
The reason why you can't remake those things over is because, first of all, a lot of shows that started back then put people on. Like, they discovered some of your biggest people. Nowadays, people not trying to discover like new people.
They want somebody already.
They just want to be already on.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You know what I'm saying? So you're cheating the system. There's not. I think it's a time and an era, and you just gotta make your own joint now. You got, follow a blueprint. Look at the blueprint and say, yo, this is hot. How can I do this without actually imitating this?
Okay.
You know, do that. But other than that, man, nah, man. Don't touch nothing, man. Just leave everything where it was. Because a lot of things, just like music, it makes you feel a certain type of way. You go back in the time and you remember a moment in your life, like. So when you start remaking shit, it takes away the memories of when the original came out. Leave it alone. Don't touch it.
Okay. Especially if you're gonna do it, you have to. If you're gonna do it, I feel like you have to call the other people to pay homage.
See,
like why can't that be a part of a contract or a rule? Like, who takes a stand on that? Who can be like, no? What about Diddy? Because he's like the voice of hip hop. What if Brother Love come and be like, no, call Method and Redman and say, y'all can't do it unless y'all speak to them. Like, who is gonna make our hip hop history live?
What we need in hip hop is a union. No, I'm serious.
That's
you need
true.
a union to delegate certain stuff. So when other people who's not involved with the culture try to come in and take certain things and then claim it, nah, man, we got the union. Union gonna take care of that. This way you can continue still doing what you're doing, making your music, your movies, your whatever you're doing, and then let the union take care.
Maybe
of
you
that.
should be a part of the union.
Shit, if they holler at me, I'm definitely in.
Whoa, throw it out there, union, bro. I'll vote for you.
I'm definitely involved. But yeah, leave stuff alone, man. Certain things just can't be touched with, man.
Or bring back. Do you think they should bring back clubs? What was it from back in the day?
What? Speed, Limelight,
no,
Tunnel?
the tunnel. You think they should bring back the tunnel?
Nah, you can't do it, man. There's a time and era. It'll never be what it was.
Because I feel like now when they closed BB King's, I'm like, y'all need to bring that back only because that's a historical venue.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Slim just hit me. Yeah, I seen this earlier, and I was going to read about it tonight and tomorrow about Tidal not releasing De La Soul's catalog, streaming it.
Why?
On Tidal.
You know why?
What?
No,
why?
I do not know
man,
why.
That's
Talk
crazy.
to me.
Tommy Boy
Owns it. And doesn't want to.
They only going to give him 10%. They want to keep 90.
Wow.
What? Holy. That's going up in the post, man. Yeah.
De La Soul like, hey, this is the deal.
Yeah.
And then Jay-Z like, no, we're not going to put it on Tidal.
Yeah.
Until you do right by them, we're not going to put up the catalog.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I said you got to show homage.
Yeah, but see that? They still trying to keep everything. They still trying to keep all that stuff. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Slim David. You know what I'm saying? Information put out there by Slim David, we're going to put that up. But about the catalog for De La Soul not being able to be streamed on Tidal, that's what I'm talking about. See, we just talking about that. You trying to own the union. You trying to own that part. That's that union I was talking about. You see? Nice, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we need a union.
And you got to fight for the rights, man.
Fight for our rights.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
See, hip hop is generating so much money now.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
they are.
Artists really don't care about how they're being treated until they find out somebody else is getting more. Then that's when they want to make this.
That's where
make
you
this
feel
fight
like it causes
for
controversy.
fairness. That's when they want to be, I need to own my publishing and all of this and that. Like,
shout out to Russell and Sierra for being bae goals, relationship goals. He done brought her whole masters for her. Like, he representing for her music. And I'm like, why do we make, maybe this is a business question, Brav, and you can tell me about this in terms of like you and your manager skills back in the day. But like, why would it be so difficult for an artist to feel like, or get, I don't know if the word is permission, but to own the masters to their music?
Because it's money.
But it's their talent. It's
their talent. But the thing is that
I don't get it.
The thing is, it's just like a job. You're bringing your skills to a work environment, right? So the job is paying you for your skills and everything, But we're only going to give you this amount for your skills and your time.
But I don't think I could
you feel what I'm saying?
Get masters of teaching.
No, but understand what I'm saying. But you went to school.
I did go to school.
You got a degree for it, right?
I do have my master's.
So you got that. Even though you own that. Mm-hmm. But it's not. It's worth nothing if you don't have a job.
Okay, but they have. But I'm saying, but they have jobs, so it's like.
So they're not telling you, yo, listen here, we're gonna give you a percentage of all the kids that you're teaching. We're giving you a percentage of that.
No.
You see what I'm saying? We're gonna give you a base salary.
No, ain't no base
matter
salary.
even you're gonna teach 1,000 kids.
Hell no.
But we're gonna give you a base salary. You're not
Negative.
getting paid for each child. You're just getting paid for that time to teach this group for this time being. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like they're owning you.
But that's what I'm saying. Though, why make the process so difficult for somebody like Chris Brown got it, but I'm saying people will be like, yeah, it took me 40, 50 years to get it. I'm like, damn.
Because it's money.
How much paperwork did you
because
need to do?
As long as that music is good and somebody's going to listen to it, they're going to make money off of it. So why am I going to give it back to you? Where's my money at? I put money up for you to be this star. You feel what I'm saying?
But wouldn't it be like, all right, once we received...
No.
You know what I'm going to say?
Once we receive this amount of work out of you from this amount of time, here you go. No.
10 years, but it's like a contract. I'm signed to this label. You got 3 albums, and then you could go.
Because the label is a bank.
It's like a drug.
The label's a bank. I'm loaning you some money. Right?
This is ridiculous.
For you.
It's like a gang.
No, I'm loaning you some money for you to create a product and sell this product, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, yes, you created it, but I own you because I gave you the money to create this product. Now.
Okay, so then can't we have paperwork to say, okay, in 10 years or in 5 years, I'm going to make $5 million. I'm going to give you $30 million, and then we good.
You know why? Because
this is your song. This is your work.
Because at the beginning of this, we was doing this as a hobby, and as a release, and as for fun. We was doing it fun, just having fun. The powers that be figured out how to make money off of that. So they said, yo, how can we continue to make money off of this? See, we're going to give these people some money because they're in poverty and they're struggling. We give you this. You don't know nothing about owning it. You're just going to take this money and say, here, take it. Oh, you gave me some money here, take that. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
So the powers that be is like, here's the money. Thank you for the product. This product is ours. You don't know nothing about owning your publishing. You don't know nothing about that. So you sign everything over.
But then, once you do learn,
now as you get
can't
educated,
you then go back and say, hey?
Because if you want to own your publishing, now you got to pay for that. You want your publishing back, you got to pay for that. You got to pay. I'm not going to give it to you because I own it. I'm making money off of this right now. I'm making money off of this. So why am I going to give you this when I no longer can make money off of you? You see what I'm saying? It's pimping.
That's what I'm saying. This is like a gang.
It's pimping.
I got to get jumped out, or I owe you this amount and you can't leave us. You got 50 more years, and then you pay 50 more years, and then they're like, you thought you could go? I own you. It's
because
like,
the
no,
label can continue to make money off you as long as somebody's going to listen to your music. I'm not giving that up.
Okay, I have a question now. Okay. So what if you have a label, Bravo Captain, right? That's the name of the label. And then your label is done. You disappear. There's no more Bravo Captain. But you were a Sierra. I'm Sierra, and I was signed to Bravo Captain. But then I'm still would I still be signed underneath you?
No,
like
you
because you died off.
The label might not be there, but I still own the publishing.
So
I own it.
But
so
you no longer exist in the business world.
I can still know, but I can still get paid because why? I still have this catalog and still have the publishing. So as long as somebody's listening to this music and there's money being generated, I'm still being paid, even with no label.
Wow. So even with no label, you can still own somebody's publishing.
Yeah.
And you can't then go back to say, I want my publishing back.
You got to go to court. We got to go to court.
Oh, no. That's OD.
This is what happens when paperwork is involved.
Or you can remaster or that music.
Yeah, remaster, digitalize it. Put it in movies. Like, there's so many ways for you to make money. I'm not giving
you put it in movie.
I'm not giving you your publishing back.
Oh, okay. Well, I can see it from that. I can see.
This is why they're not giving the publishing back. There's so many things I can do with your music.
Shout out to Russell, giving Sierra the masters back or whatever, however it works, because that's a good I know he paid for it, so that's why I'm saying you could get out of the situation by paying for it.
You got to pay for it though, and now you got to get that money up to pay for it.
Damn, that's a lot. How much money you think that runs?
It depends on how the artist and the type of music you present.
This is Sierra. She just did Level Up.
She don't really have like a catalog.
She don't
like
got a
that.
catalog.
She don't have a catalog like that. So you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Prince.
They were talking about how Michael Jackson still don't have his publishing, and I'm like,
No, Michael Jackson owned everybody else's publishing.
yeah, he owned everybody else publishing. I'm like, who could get their publishing from him, and he dead. Rest in peace.
Somebody owned his estate.
Because somebody owned his estate, so now you got to pay that person in order for.
Them. Yeah.
Okay, that's mad money.
Yeah.
That's like, what's that, like billions, millions?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I think I read his joint. It was like he was getting like 600 million. Or
Oh my God.
600 million. Yeah. Like he did some funny stuff. Like he had it, he sold it, he bought it back, and then he resold it again. Like yo, that's when you got listen. Once you're in a position, once you put yourself in, this is real too. And this is why like we do the show, and for the whatever the case may be is like you might not take it serious, you know, to like just saying hypothetically speaking, whoever's involved in the show is like, oh, I just do a show, you know what I'm saying? But it's a business now, it's LLC, so we own it. So whatever the case may be, somebody might see and be like, you know what, I like the idea. I want to give you guys.
I thought you meant they could just
know,
take it. I'm about to be like, oh
create,
no.
Once you put yourself in a position where you're the demand, you're good to go. Cause now you control. Now you can position it however you want to position it, as long as the demand is good and it's there. You could tell people, nah, that's not good. I don't want that. We're gonna need this. I need this. You know what I'm saying?
In order to get the publishing back?
No, I'm saying I'm saying when you're in control.
Okay.
When you are the demand, you're good.
Okay.
That's it. Like believe me, Chris Brown got his publishing back, but he paid some heavy money, and there's some things inside the deal where they're owning certain type of stuff. You feel what I'm saying? Because why? He's still a demand.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So they owning something somewhere down the line, like whatever that negotiation, that deal was probably in structure for like a year, 2 years or something.
Prior to us seeing,
us finding out
because he's still in demand.
That was in the situation for 2 years or something, where they're working out, like the label's trying to figure out how can they still win. You feel what I'm saying?
That's understandable. That's understandable, I guess, because he's still in demand. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if he wasn't in demand anymore, or like he stopped being an artist, or he retires, can he then say, okay, now that I'm not retired, or now I am retired, can I now get my publishing so I could just like chill on the island?
He got hits. He got a nice catalog. So the label's not just going to give that up to him like this. Nah. They still can make tons of money off that man because he has a catalog.
Okay.
See, that's the difference of artists and a lot of these guys just jumping in the music business right now. See, they're making the money just for now. So they want to be good for now. But 5 years from now, their music ain't going to be, excuse the language and no disrespect, 90% of them, the music ain't gonna be worth shit.
That's true.
Like,
will the label then say, you know what, here, take your publishing, or can they still be like, nah, I could still make money?
Nah, they'll probably sell it to them for cheap though, not as much. You know, they could probably break it down like, yo, listen here, we'll give it back to you for $10 million. Now, does that artist have $10 million now? You feel what I'm saying?
No, that's a lot of money.
So a lot of you gotta learn to position yourself. You gotta put yourself in a position where you can get it back. You gotta put yourself in a position where you can make that money.
Do Jay own his publishing?
Who, Jay? Jay been bought his joints.
Right?
That's why he's on it now. That's why he bought his joints, what, like 10 years ago? From Def Jam?
I don't know.
Before he left Def Jam, he got that. He got all his masters.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Like, that's smart. That's a businessman move to say.
It's not on iTunes.
Yeah, okay.
Or nothing. He own it. It's only on Tidal. You can only go on Tidal to listen to his shit.
Wow. Okay.
Corner of the market.
Wow.
Talk about that. How about R. Kelly not posting bill? I don't know if y'all spoke about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
No, we haven't talked about. We were just.
He just did though. He just did though.
Yeah, he just said. We were just talking about.
Turn
no,
it on.
I can't hear.
Turn it
you.
on.
I can't hear. But we were just talking about publishing.
Did you turn your mic on? Did you turn your mic on?
But yeah, we were just talking about publishing. I was really interested in, about people getting their masters
got our
and
guests
if
in the
you're
building?
dead or whatever. So, I hope if I'm an
Yo, it's
artist-
been kind of quiet. We got no background music.
I know, but Sal just walked in the door. Sal think it's hip hop point of view from 648.
Sal, tell our guests to step up to the chair,
8
man.
o'clock.
You guess. Sal. Sal, good.
Yo,
Tell our guests to step up.
Bravo is on it. Yeah, let's go. Let's
648. We could get it
648,
popping.
we
Get
get
it started
popping.
right now.
Yeah. Whatever you like. Black
Copper
chair,
C,
yellow
You want the
pen.
black mic, the yellow mic, whichever one.
Bravo, plug me in there.
We talking
See, you
about
gotta be coming early,
publishing,
He could
publishing,
talk to us. He could talk to us.
and owning your masters. I was just
1 2 1 2. Is my mic on?
mic check. Slims, come on, man.
We got the mic on.
Check.
All right.
1 2.
Yeah.
Check,
we
check.
can hear this. We can hear this loud.
We got.
You gonna have me unplug something over here, and I don't know which one I'm unplugging, bro.
I think Bravo took some comedy classes this last week.
1 2 1 2. Well, I can hear
Oh, no,
myself.
he
so
good.
I'm good. I can hear myself.
Oh, his head. He want to be special.
You got me unplugging something.
Nah,
And I'm
you know
unplugging
what?
the wrong headphones.
Plugging, brother. You
You the plug.
I'm the plug, but I ain't unplugging. I ain't unplugging Jack. You gonna have to unplug.
Where did y'all get your comedy classes
My
from?
bad.
Groupon?
We got Staten Island, Staten Island,
Yeah, Staten Island,
Stapleton. I wanted to make sure I got it right. I didn't want to say the wrong residents up in here. We get snuffed.
I know Staten Island is like not too known as far as areas is concerned.
It's I'll be out of Staten Island. It's kind of
so
complicated.
It's
complicated, man. I'll be like, what's this?
Well, I'm from Stapleton, Staten Island, so
yeah.
I like to think of it as the capital of Staten Island. Maybe other people would differ, but as far as the history is concerned, and as far as the talent that comes out of there, and the realness or what have you, I like to call it the capital of Staten Island. But like y'all said, y'all was talking about publishing, and that's very serious. A lot of artists who I respect as far as MCs or just doing hip hop music. I respect them as far as that's concerned, but I tell a lot of them in order to really be respected by everyone you come across, you have to be. It shouldn't be called the music business.
Yeah,
it should be called the business of music. So you can handle your business. You can handle your business first, and a lot of individuals do not do that.
Yes.
They'll go into the studio. Us three could be in the studio and it's like, let's stay out of there. And you'll run out of there and no one thought about, all right, well, what's the percentage I have? So
yeah, that's what I was asking,
so
and
then
how do you get it back?
So us three are, say, hypothetically speaking, us three are in the studio, we get on the track, he produced it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I might not know anything about my publishing.
Okay.
Used to might.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a lot of people are going to the studio eager to be heard, but have no business savvy on how to even publish a song. And that's something that you should do as soon as you finish a song in the studio.
Okay.
The same person should be logging on to your CSAC, ASCAP, BMI, whoever you're down with, and logging your song in an MP3 version.
Yeah.
Boom. They don't. Back in the days when I was on MCA Records, we used to have to write out all your lyrics.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And submit them in.
That copyright.
There's an envelope.
Oh, okay.
So that was like, write your lyrics out, because just in case you make BET or MTV or whatever, they already know your lyrics ahead of time, just in case they got to bleep whatever out, whatever. But that's how it used to be. Now you MP3 it, and it gets registered just like that, and you log on your percentages. If there's 3 writers, every song is broken down to 50-50. 100, it adds up to 100. 50 to the publishing, 50 to the producer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So 50% who writes it and 50% who produces it.
Yeah.
So if all three of us are writing it, that 50%
That's 50%
gets,
is
and he produced it, he gets his 50%
No matter
off
what.
top.
Yeah. Straight off the bat. Just
But
like the
I've
IRS.
seen 200% on
Just
BMI.
like the IRS, man.
200,
Yeah, but say I've seen.
yeah,
I've
but
seen on
200, like I'm with CSEC, but 200 is probably broken down the same way.
Same way, just
So it's
50-50,
100 to 100 to the
100%.
producer,
Right.
100 to put to the publishing. If all three write it, then it gets broken down. That 100 gets broken down into three.
Gotcha.
So it's 33, 33, 33.
So what if the so what if you're not even the artist or you didn't even write your music? What would you get?
Nada.
It depends. Now
Bravo's like 1%.
Now that depends.
Damn.
That depends because you just have a Grammy nominated award winner, Cardi B, who
Yeah.
has a ghostwriter.
Yeah.
So now you could be live, but nobody know of you. But you could have live representation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I could be your manager and I'm somebody. So before I even walk into the door, like, you know what? All right, we're going to write Blasey Blah's album. But we want XYZ of our publishing. So it might be 50% that you're entitled to, but due to the fact nobody knows you, do they get half? Are you giving that entertainer none? And there's a whole saying, the way you come in is the way you go out. So if you come in,
Okay.
you know what I mean? You can bend but don't break. So you don't want to be like,
I want
50-50.
Yeah. And then you.
Well, I want 25-25. It just depends on who your representation is because
Okay.
you got to figure Missy Elliott wrote for Mary J.
Yeah.
Right? Missy Elliott tell you her first check that she got was from her publishing that she
Yeah.
wrote for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And she was able to get a $30,000 check, her first publishing check. So obviously she received a lot of her royalties from her publishing
Okay.
if she was able to accumulate the money to buy her
Yeah.
mom's her house.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
You understand?
a lot, yeah.
So whoever represents you sometimes plays a major part.
Yeah.
Okay.
You might not know any of the business, and somebody might just sneak you in and take your publishing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And there's a lot of that.
But
that goes on.
my main question, or what we were talking about, was, those are the logistics, and understand that. But it was like, how can I then, after I'm an artist, say, why do record labels or people make it so difficult to own your masters after the fact?
Because once you got to figure like this. Once I put you on into the universe or whatever the case may be, and I used all my outlets or what have you, I feel like I should be able to eat off. This is how they think.
Oh, okay. I'm about
But
to be
this is
like,
how this how the industry thinks. There's a lot of people, like, I remember when certain individuals up at Hot 87 screaming on P. Diddy because P. Diddy still owned their publishing. You know what I mean?
Hey, he's smart.
And he was saying you the fact that you actually didn't recoup. You know what I mean? So I invested $2-3 million into you.
And you made $2 or $3 million. So
and maybe you only made 1.5. Like the artist makes his money off tours and doing shows and merchandise.
Yeah.
That's where the 360 deal comes into play because now, right? They want a part of everything. So it's up to you to say, you know what? I could do this on my own and do it, or I could give up a large percentage, get a lump sum up front. And I'm giving up a lot as far as my publishing, merchandising, and everything else underneath the sun.
Yeah, I might go back into
Your
manager
name.
right now. I still got it. I'm good.
hey, I got some artists for you ready to go, bro.
We had it. We just jumped it in, man. State your name and your biz and everything so the people know who you are.
Well,
You might
listen,
not
my
be
name
in
is
tune.
Pop the Brown Hornet from Stapleton, Staten Island. Once again, my history in this. I've been on MCA Records. I've been on Independent Smoke Records. I've done music with Shaheem. I was part of a group called GP Woo that was signed to MCA as well. So, but I've done music with a slew of people. I just recently dropped. Well, 2 years ago, I dropped an album with King Just called "The Emperor and the King: The Best of Both Hoods."
I heard about it, but I didn't hear it. Like I
it was
heard
more,
about
it was more
but
of
I didn't get to hear it.
It was more of a mixtape thing. But King Just, from being from Park Hill and me being from Stapleton, we could. And the name of my first album on MCA Records was the Underground Emperor.
Yeah.
And he's King Just. So we took the Emperor and the King, Best of Both Hoods. He's from Park Hill. I'm from Stapleton.
Okay,
and we just
I got it.
joined it together.
Just cool.
You know what I mean? So people that don't, a lot of people know King Just from Hey Ya, Hey Ya, Hey Ya Ho.
Hey, yeah.
Right. Mine, I'm Black on Black Crime. You might have to dig into the archives, but a lot of people know me as Black on Black Crime. That was one of my songs that I had out in the 90s. So, like I said, we joined forces. We probably was missing from the game for a minute. Nobody heard of, I mean, we do it for the love, but as far as to say, let's throw something out into the universe because
out for the audience,
right? Because being from Staten Island, everybody just knows it for the W.
Yeah,
they don't know, like as soon as you say Staten Island, you think, oh, Shaolin, and everybody doesn't rock like that. They're legends of what they've done. But me and KJ was like, it needs to be a face. It needs to be something. It needs to be a resurgence. As much talent as from Staten Island, places like this, you have to have an individual who could be a spokesman for Staten Island to really reintroduce itself or let it be known that there's still something going on out there. So, me saying that, I recently dropped an album called Foreman Mandela. It's out on Foreman. It's called Foreman Mandela. It's out on all platforms right now. Phantom of the Beat did the majority of the album. Phantom of the Beats is AKA Haas G from the UMCs. Right.
Blue
UMC.
Cheese.
Blue Cheese. They also, now, Haas is from Stapleton as well. Haas is originally from Brooklyn. From Brooklyn, he moved to Staten Island when he was, youngster, and his mama moved from Brooklyn. They moved to Staten Island. He moved to Stapleton. So that's where Haas, Phantom, got his real love. It probably was already in his genes and blood, but it was able to manifest itself out there in Stapleton, and that's how the UMCs performed. Or should I say joined together. So to make a long story short, he did the bulk of the production on my present project, Foreman Mandela. Reason of being called Foreman Mandela is because I grabbed George Foreman and Nelson Mandela.
I was gonna say.
I took both their last names. I took both their last names and I meshed it together. And the reason being is this: George Foreman, he said it took him 20 years to get up after Ali knocked him out in the Rumble in the Jungle. He was just, Larry Holmes. Everybody else was fighting. Nobody. We just forgot about George Foreman. He came back. He reinvented himself. Became the oldest heavyweight champion. George Foreman grilled, so forth and so on, did business. He reinvented himself, came back with a smile. You know what I mean? So he didn't let time defeat him. Nelson Mandela, locked up for over 26 years, still comes out, becomes the president in parts of Africa. Nobel Peace Prize, this, that, and the third. He didn't let time defeat him. He still stood for us. So it's damn near 20 years since I dropped my solo album, Underground Emperor. So I'm Foreman Mandela. I didn't let time defeat me. I still came back full circle to say, you know what? Let me come back and drop. Appreciate that. Drop the album.
I want to say two things. Why I wanted you to come to the show. One is because of used to hear your name a lot mentioned in the W. At that time, I was like, and I was like, that name is crazy. Then the Hornet, the Brown Hornet from Fat Albert. But I was like, I've always been fascinated with people when they use a name. When they had a name, I'm like, yo, that's shit dope. That was one. Two, and I was watching the documentary a couple of months ago, and they mentioned your name in like one of the figures of Staten Island. Like not even in music, just somebody as like a stand-up guy that representing, Staten Island, Stapleton as the, and I was like, that's not the same guy. So I went to the IG page. I was like, oh shit, that is the same. So it's
who else would it have been, B?
Because you would think like all that time you like what like, but certain things is fascinating. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we come from a culture that's deep and this culture is very unique, you know what I'm saying? And just to see people that is the culture, but they're not necessarily on the forefront. Being recognized, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And me being in it, I'm always, anybody that's in it that kind of had some type of input to where it made me like, this is my shit. I fucks with it. I like to meet them. You know what I'm saying? I just like to meet people that put they mark in this culture. That's
Right.
part of this history.
No, and I appreciate
You know
that.
what I'm
To get a full understanding, it would take a very long time. But to put it in a nutshell, you think like this in Staten Island history, right? Back in the days before people were coming out with wax, you would make a demo on an 8-track.
Yeah.
Go up there and you know what I mean. So back in the days when Staten Island had no face whatsoever, our hip hop came on the TV, whether it's Slick Rick, Big Daddy, KR, the greats, the legends, Heavy D, all of them. So we always envisioned ourselves and we idolized, the EPMDs. It was like, we was destined to. So back when we was making those tapes, I was one of the main individuals that was coming out with music constantly because RNS, who produced for Shaheem, he produced for myself, Gravediggers. So he taught Haas G, Phantom of the Beat, how to create beats and stuff of that nature. So he taught a lot of individuals, and he touched. You know what I mean? He helped RZA use certain kind of equipment and stuff of that nature. They traded albums. So me being really underneath RNS to where I had more street hits than anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody that's in the Wu-Tang. Before we was making wax, you came to Staten Island, you heard my music in the streets. I had numerous of hits. People could tell you that, yo, and they'll tell you some of my favorite joints that I never really put on wax because they know me for that long.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So when Wu-Tang was formed, because Wu-Tang had its start. It started in Stapleton, where I'm from.
Yeah.
That's where the seed was planted. RZA happened to be Stapleton. Well, RZA was more, he was the guard. You know what I mean? So he could bounce around wherever he wanted to. And that's a lot of the guards, when you look at Wu-Tang, they was all 5%ers.
Yeah.
So when it formed, there was more 5%er than they joined underneath one banner. So that's what I respect. They stepped to me, yo, you want to be down? And I was like, nah, because back to publishing.
Yeah.
They told me, yo, if you want to be down, you only going to give 5% of your own publishing.
Oh, no.
Because there's so many of them. I just broke it down to you. If it's 2 of us, we get 25, 25.
More,
If it's 10 of us, we get 5.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh.
No.
They was like, come on, God. I was like, nah, I'm good. So Ghost was like, what you going to wait 20 years? I was like, if I got to. So it was like, I'd rather be a lion for a day than a lamb for a lifetime. So I made my statement with Black on Black. I had a chance and an opportunity, and if you listen to Up from the 36 Chambers, we have boom, boom, Ghostface Killer, boom, 60 second, old dirty pop the Brown Hornet. Yeah. Why? Because I was there.
Yeah.
I was there before the Wu-Tang Clan. It's like this, Empire Network, right? Empire Network Clan. Now, is that everybody underneath Empire Network, or is that just a clan from out of Empire Network? Where you from?
From the BX.
BX Clan. So now, if we have now if I come out with a group called the BX Clan, is that going to be everybody from the BX? No. It's just a clan from out of the BX, and that's what Wu-Tang Clan was. Yeah. Wu-Tang Clan is just a clan from out of the movement of Wu-Tang.
Okay. Got you.
Now, when you put contracts into play, it differs.
Yeah.
Especially when you're the first one to bring out with it. The first one to really be heard saying Wu-Tang was the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
You didn't hear prior to
Other
that, but it existed before that. Just when you look at a tree, the tree's there, but you know that roots are underground.
Yeah.
Sucking up water to make that tree grow. So what you see sometimes is deeper than, what you don't see.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like you said, you heard of me, but never really seen me.
Exactly.
Because I didn't confine to being underneath that umbrella. But I know each and every last, I learned to know each and every last one of them because all of the clan is not really from Staten Island.
Yes.
But the majority of them, yes, we grew up and we survived a treacherous era.
Yes.
So when you watch their documentaries and they say, yo, we was poor, we was broke, we was hustling. RZA said, Amef said, when RZA came to me, you on this block, you ain't going nowhere. Yo, give me a year. If I change your life within a year, you can go. If I don't change your year in the life, go back to the streets. Do what you do. But if I do,
then
and he never looked back. So you gotta you have to respect that. You know what I mean? And I don't knock anybody from doing. I just
chose to do
I
it
did-
your
yeah,
way.
man. I'm Frank
I
Sinatra, man.
respect
I'm
that.
doing this
I
my
respect
way,
that.
you know.
So now I understand more. Like when we had the conversation, you was like, I represent the W, but I'm not underneath the W and everything. So now
Right.
I understand
Yeah,
when
now-
you're breaking
yeah.
it down.
Right, because you got to understand, I pre-exist the W,
Yeah.
and
Before
throughout
it
the
was
Wu
actually
Tang,
Before it was
before
W.
became something.
before the whole clan was put together, I was like Wu Tang in the streets. I had demos where it was like, yo, classic shit, and people like they know that, and they know that. The
Yeah.
W know that.
And they'll never knock you for that.
And again, that's why I was down with MCA. I was part of a group called GP Wu. They didn't really risen and couldn't. They didn't co-sign it, but they didn't knock it. None of them could come from my head like, yo, fuck that GP Wu
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
That ain't shit ain't
yeah.
real. Yo, I'll slice your head off. I'll take your. And they ain't make no diss tracks off of me because they know.
They know what was up.
But what they did was they came out back in the days in the Source magazine. You just drop your album, but then from your whomever that was down with the Wu umbrella, you had to have a Wu-Tang, official Wu-Tang stamp was hit on your shit.
Yeah,
Boom.
yeah.
You had to have the Wu emblem, like officially Wu, like Wu-Tang approved.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
They can't. We're responsible for that,
Yeah.
GP Wu, because we was able to use it. Now you don't know me. You might be in LA. You're like, who these motherfuckers trying to say they Wu-Tang? That ain't.
Yeah.
Like they frauds
Uh-huh.
because they wasn't able to digest the whole story.
Yeah.
See, I'm giving you slabs and bits because this documentary, we know it's supposed to be sold, not told.
Yeah, yeah.
But due to the fact you pay attention, and due to the fact of like, I'm re-emerging, and people want to hear a story, it's very intriguing.
Yeah.
You know, and like I told, I could have stopped and go and work for UPS, but there's a reason why I'm in existence. There's a reason why
Of course.
the stars aligned to say, you know what, you being spoken about, you have family, friends, and fans that may want to hear from you. They want to hear some content. So, I appreciate the fact that you was even keen on that.
Yeah, thank you.
Shout outs to Bravo.
Shout out
man.
Bravo, man.
Yeah, I'm into it. But it's dope though because like just you explaining that,
Yeah.
it breaks it down, and now you could kind of see other groups as well. You could kind of break things up and understand like they're affiliated, but they wasn't exactly part of this. Like EPMD, Hit Squad, Def Squad. You know what I'm saying? K Solo. Things like that. Like people was affiliated, but they wasn't necessarily underneath that umbrella like that. Like I noticed that King Just wasn't that. But he represented Staten Island, so it wasn't no knocking him,
No, but of course, and what it was is like I said during that time, who you was affiliated with and who was backing you. King Just was down with Black Fist at the time.
Yes,
that was a whole different movement, and the people that was running it, you didn't.
It was a different type
you
thing.
ain't
You don't want to go. You don't want to go at him. You don't want to go at him. It's like nah.
Right,
King
Just I might come back.
Let him do his thing over there.
Let him rock.
Let him
you
do
know
his
what I mean?
thing. Yeah.
You don't want that type of smoke.
They ain't want no smoke with dealing with, especially at that time. And at that time, like Hey Ya Ho and all when he blasted off, once again, RNS produced that.
Yeah. So that's when you say RNS. That's when they
RNS
used to
is a
say
producer.
Rebel RNS on the track.
He says Rebel INS.
INS. Oh, okay.
But RNS is a producer from Stapleton. It stands for Rock Non-Stop.
Okay.
That's what he had RNS for. And he's a little bit older, but he reminds me a lot of Dr. Dre because he was in like some dance group because Staten Island's known for the Force MCs that went to the Force MDs. A lot of people used to look up to the Force MDs doing their thing. There's a lot of little doo-wop crews out on Staten Island that didn't make it to the forefront because the Force was that dominant. Yeah. So you had to choose something else to do. So I was like, yo, fuck, I'm gonna make these beats. And that's how Dr. Dre started out. Remember, he was in a little singing group. He had the funny little jacket on. Then he
can't knock
doing
nobody's beginning, man.
I'm not. I'm just saying he reminds me of Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
But he's my Dr. Dre of Staten Island, RNS.
Wow.
Like, this bottom line. Because if you know RNS's body of work at the end of the day, like I said, the majority of Shaheem the Rugged Child's joints.
Yeah.
So from on and on, it was so many joints that all Sha was.
He had his hand in there, all that stuff.
All of that. UMCs, so Blue Cheese, Any Way the Wind Blow, all touched that. All influenced RZA's mind to do certain stuff. That, you know what I mean? It was just if you was from Stapleton or if you was just from Staten Island, period, and you wanted and you could get your hands on the R&S beat. Oh shit.
That's high demand.
That's like in the Bronx when we was growing up. If you could get on the doo-wop mixtape, you was
winning.
At that time. You know, is
equivalent. And Shaheem was on the doo-wop mixtape. Oh yeah, with homie from Uptown. Like
Shaheem was a problem, man.
Shaheem, and the dope thing that he was young. You know what I mean? He was young and
killing it,
and working with these.
He had minds behind him. Right, R&S, myself, Down Low, Rubber Bands. You like a GP Woo. We like. It was definitely a great movement.
I mean, I love when I hear history like this, man.
Yeah, man, it makes you think back.
Feels so like this is what we was just talking about. Remember, like you can't remake certain things.
Yeah.
It carves a moment.
We were talking
in
about
your
the movie
time,
about Boomerang.
in your memories where you be like,
oh, Boomerang.
and you can't remake stuff. You got to leave stuff where it is because you can always go back and say what it made you feel like at that moment. You know what I'm saying?
Or like, you know, if you do decide to it, would you say it's kind of like you're not doing your history, you're cheating because
you're cheating. I look at it,
just call it something else. Just say, you know,
you're cheating your way
make a new show, make a new movie instead of calling it what it is. But I appreciate this more, just like how we've been talking about it nonstop. Is that I feel like the younger generation or my millennial quote unquote generation, they don't really seek for knowledge. They don't seek for. They just I am hip hop. I know about this stuff. So I'm sitting here like, yes, oh my God, this is so much knowledge. And then it's like people bash like, oh, you don't know much about this. And it's like, but I'm asking questions. I'm interviewing people where I feel like I can then hear this story and then relate, like speak out to it versus sitting there rapping and have, you know, out there claiming like, something that you don't know.
It's like even if you're an R&B singer, if you're an R&B singer, you got to remember the greats from the back, man. The Teddy Pendergrass is you know,
you can't hit somebody who came out 2 years before like, yeah, that's the greats. Like,
well, it's a cockiness and an arrogance that's been developed due to the fact that we live in a society is a capitalist society. So it's like, why should I even pay homage when I'm making more money
than the person? Yeah, that's what we
all the time.
Yeah, so is a disconnect right there. So what has to really be done? There's an outcry for real hip hop, you know, or should I say traditional classic hip hop. You know, there's different genres. You got your trap, you got your gangster, you got your political, you got your dumbed down, you get whatever it is. There's so many genres of hip hop. So that trap is winning on top, but you can't ignore the intelligent hip hop. That's what brothers is. It has to be a balance, and if you don't keep a balance, then what will happen is you're gonna burn out the engine because it's gonna be an overload of. If you feed your body McDonald's, Wendy's, and all of that, White Castles all day, you don't give it food for thought, like you don't give it no nourishment, your body will break down and you'll be somewhere laid up. And that's what hip-hop is, because not to knock anyone's hustle, but when you take hip-hop and you give it to Smurdo, you give it to 69, and you try to bash it, you have individuals saying and blaming it on, well, it's the hip-hop music. No, it's not the hip-hop music. It's always the individual.
Yeah.
But you're giving them a finger to point because it doesn't happen in country music, or it's not happening in gospel music.
Yeah.
It's happening in hip-hop music.
Exactly.
But we're letting other people, program directors and the higher-ups, dictate what our sound is.
Our culture.
Right. So if you don't have a resistance to that, it's like anything else. Like a rubber band, like you keep pulling it, it's going to pop. It has to be some kind of resistance. You have to have balance. That's why Foreman Mandela, lyricism. I'm not going to give it up because I know in certain parts of the world, this is what thrives. Everything's going to make a 360.
Yeah.
You're going to be so, like, just because it made you money now, and that's going to bring you back to saying, you know what? It's like a fad.
Yeah.
You know, back in the days, I need a 4-finger ring. Your mom's telling you don't need it. It's just a fad. I'm telling everybody else got it.
Don't need
You
that.
know, now,
It's gonna be in forever.
as you older, you was like, I really didn't need that 4-finger ring. It was just a fad. Like,
But you started
in 3 years. Yeah.
You started to say something, and I'm very curious to know or finish your thought on it. Is when my thing was how do we bridge that gap? How do we then say like this is what we need to do to educate those who don't really know, or like what do you think that would ever happen, or we just in the era where it's like a question mark?
Of course it'll happen. As individuals like yourself are important because that's how you bridge the gap, by being able to reach out, correspond, talk. Like when you look at us as a people, right? We're lacking in so much. So when you don't have, say, a center where we have women building with each other or teaching or just talking, this is how you change your pad, this is how you do your nails, this is how you comb your hair, this is how
Women
you
History Month is now, so that's what I'm saying.
Right, poetry classes, and same for men. Like, there should be shops to whereas young men could go in and learn how to do electric work. Same with women. I mean, a trade. We don't have that. That's why us communicators so distant, because now that they've created technology, that's eliminated people from talking to each other. Back in the days, I remember we used to walk down, even when you bumped into, you seen a female, hey, now you can't even holler. Headphones on,
Exactly.
my phone. Me doing what I'm doing on my phone is way more important than what you about to try to kick to me.
You can't get no attention from her. Yeah.
But that used to exist.
So.
And it doesn't. So you always have to communicate. Communication is key. And that's how you bridge the gap between, the old head to the young head.
Okay.
Because if I can't talk to you, knowledge is always infinite. So if I can't give you something and then get something in return, there's a saying, if you can't be used, you're useless. So let's use each other for mental stimulation.
Yes.
I
like what you said, because you're saying a lot of stuff that I've been like venting and complaining about and just mentioning it. And I even went to it and said that like we need to stop white media representing the culture, because they're like the ones that like they don't have no idea really about it. They just see the fame and the excitement and the money that's going on, and then they represent it, but they're not really representing it. They're just putting their thing, and nobody's really saying anything about it. So then when things come out the wrong way, it's like, well, they misquoted me. It's because they're doing what they want to do to get the leverage and
like you said. Well, they're in it for the money, and then what happens? People happen to be passive or have a closed eye behind it, because when you say, you know what, hip hop is $1 billion industry, so they use that for an excuse. Like, oh, this trap music is no good for the kids, boom, 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 but it's $1 billion industry. So, like I was saying, it has to be balanced. There has to be a shift.
Yes.
So as much as you feel the way you do, it has to be. I remember when Biggie got shot, rest in peace. And I remember when I was listening to the radio, I think Ed Love or somebody was on the radio, and it was like, yo, we're not going to play no more shoot 'em up songs, or no more boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I'm not playing that no more. Maybe he tried to stick to his guns. But then I remember Ja Rule came out with, I got 100 guns and 100 clips, and I'm from New York.
That's my jump.
You know what I mean? So if we don't, because see, now even that might be her joint, but who was the program director that said, you know what, play that joint?
Yeah.
Keep the negative, keep
the negative on rotation.
Keep that on high.
Yeah.
Anything positive and all of that, keep
down.
that.
Put on 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Right. So now you have to, like I said, there's no balance. So if you don't have a station to say, you know what, like Rock the Bells is very important with LL, you know what I mean, what he's doing.
Yes.
Because at least it's keeping the traditional hip hop classic. There's a channel for it. Has to be a whole bunch of those.
Yes.
Like when you go to Staten Island, you're jumping to a 1,000 pizzerias, and you'll say to yourself, well, how the hell are all 1,000 of these pizzerias making money?
Exactly.
How is that? You know what I mean? Because there is a desire for it, and it is for traditional. Even her being younger and from a younger generation,
yes,
there are hungry people that want knowledge and information. You know what I mean? So there's always going to be a hunger for that. It's always going to exist. Yeah, I wasn't there when Smokey Robinson was doing his thing, but I listened to Smokey. Like you said, you listen to the greats. You listen to the Marvin Gayes. You listen to the Al Greens. You have to listen to. You have to listen to those in order to say to be able to define yourself as an artist.
Yes.
You know. So, and if you're not going and digging that deep and soul searching, then you're just coming out for the money. And like you said, they're doing it for the money.
Yes.
So if we don't have 1,000 shows like your show to say, you know what, we're gonna stick to our guns. We're gonna get the sponsorships. I don't give some these black people with that the Jay-Z's and this, that, and the third or whatever. There has to be a kitty to where individuals say, well, let's keep this alive. We owe it to each other. We owe it to the culture.
Yes.
Yo, you got Curtis Blow building the Hip Hop Museum up in the BX.
Yep.
Supposed to be done by 2023.
Yeah.
That's important because you know what? Hip hop started in the BX for a museum to come. Let it come full circle, but let it be known that we know our heritage and we know our history is important.
Yes.
So with that, even the Hip Hop Museum coming, there should be a whole bunch of stations to say, you know what? We don't have to, shuffle our feet to what they tell us to do. We can stay true to our shit. Yes. And we got to support our own. Like me coming up here, that's a light showing that it is here. It exists. Yes. I have a few interviews lined up, but I know that, you know what? There's a want for it out there. It exists. Yes. Especially when you go overseas.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
overseas is big.
Yeah, I get from friend like I just hosted DJ Modesty's mixtape.
Yes.
From out of France. But he dedicated, put me up there, went back, black on black, a couple of joints to the present. You feel me? So that just lets me know that my movement didn't go in vain.
Yeah.
Such as yourself. I heard it, you boom, boom, boom. So me just coming back, if I didn't say let me come back, you wouldn't have the opportunity to have this conversation. Like it materialized. So the reintroducing of myself, the staying true to who I am, and I'll tell anybody out there, man, stay true to who you are. Be the last person to give up on yourself, because more than likely everybody else is going to give up on you. So don't give up on yourself. You know what I mean?
Thank you. That's words. That's words right there. I feel re-energy. Man, I feel good, man, getting this.
Bro, we got hope right now.
Nah, because like I said, was going through a little slump. I had to get the energy back, and I needed to put myself back into it and rev up. And
that's because we live around a whole bunch of individuals to be like, yo, that's that trap, that's how I'm making money, So when you overwhelmed by it, like I'll listen to artists, and it's like if I close my eyes, I don't know the difference between any one of y'all.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I mean, that might be changing up the words or whatever the case. But if I close my eyes, I told my cousin, you sound like Drake. Like you sound like this one. In order to be
been in the car listening to the radio, listening to a full album, thinking it's one person, and then ask somebody like, "Oh, who is this?" to double check, and they say somebody else, and I'm like, "Nah, no, it's not because." Of this.
We had this conversation last
back in the days, you would have never had that issue.
Yeah.
Maybe
Confused.
Maybe it was Slick Rick and Dana Dane, but Slick still was the rulers. Like you like
their voices, the lyrics,
Run
their,
DMC,
the pattern is the same.
Nobody.
The first time that I ever encountered that was Sean and Biggie. But Biggie had already passed, and then Sean came into place.
Right. And
then it was like, wow, but sounds so alike.
And he was messing with Puffy, so Puffy was like, yo, you gotta sound like. He probably coached him into doing that.
Probably, right.
But what he did was he gave him a signature sound. You have to have a signature sound.
Yes.
That's the key to being successful. That's what a lot of these trap individuals don't know. Yeah. Because back in the days, remember I used to go up and like, yo, make a song like so and so. That was hot. Yo, make a song like Tretch. OP, you down with it? Make another one. That's what they tell you. Like, yo, do I do me? I don't
I
do
just
that.
did, yeah.
I don't, yo, so but now everybody's like, oh, you want to?
Cool.
Oh, yeah,
it's cool.
Oh, that should work. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing to watch. And tomorrow they got a song like, damn, like they took the whole.
Everybody, I swear,
Wow.
there was a song from a kid I heard. And I thought it was A Boogie, and they was like, "Nah, that's not A Boogie." I said, "Yo, it sounds exactly like A Boogie."
Who's that? D Boogie?
I don't know, but it was like
They even have
D
the same
Boogie had the
names,
same
huh?
But
name.
it's real though. It's to the point
Or
where
Boogie.
No, it's to the point. Like if you really
Look alike.
if you really love this culture, or
He
something,
said he from the Bronx.
you should be
P
embarrassed.
Boogie with the polo shirt.
Like you should be embarrassed by like a lot of these artists doing things because they're not helping the culture grow. You know what I'm saying? They're not helping it grow. Like everything sounds the same. They look the same. They sound the same.
Yeah.
And it like, okay, Blueface. You heard of Blueface from LA?
No.
He got the Tatiana remix with Cardi B.
Oh.
Something,
Okay.
right?
Everybody has a
Everybody.
Tatiana remix, bro.
No, but it's his song. He made the song.
Okay, Blueface.
So he has Cardi B on it.
Okay.
And everybody's like, yo, this kid, he's going to be the new thing.
It's a disgrace.
And I heard him rhyme, and I'm like, yo, the boy cannot rhyme at all. He is 3 days off beat.
3 days old.
3 days off beat,
like
seriously. And he cannot rhyme. And I'm like, yo, really? Like, these are the people that you
First
are
of all, the
saying
title of the song is a
that
negative.
that
I'm
are
done.
the new hip-hop? Like, bro, you not even rhyming. You're
Not-
not even
but-
rhyming
But
at
not only
all.
that, you put these kids, just throw a beat on and be like, all right, so let me hear a freestyle.
And
They
they
can't
don't
do it.
freestyle.
They
And
can't
then
do a
another thing
freestyle.
is too. I seen a everyday struggle. It was no. I was watching Academics, and he was talking about Gunna with his new album.
Gunna.
Everybody's talking about Gunna too. He's the new joint. So he was like, "Yo, I heard Gunna's album." He's like, "The first 3 songs." I'm like, "Yeah." Then he's like, "I get to the end of the album, and every song sounds alike, and this and this and that." Like, and I said, and in my head, I'm like, "But these are the kids that you guys are hyping up as, yo,
The next
listen
big
to
thing.
this next big thing, and they can't make an album because they don't know how to make an album. They made a song and they're just doing the same song.
Can you just
over
put out
and over,
singles?
changing a little. That's what it is. They're just putting a bunch of singles together on an album. But if every single sounds the same and you have a similar sound to it, then your album is going to be exactly that. But you're creating this.
How would you like an album to be?
I mean, I like it like with the skits, interludes. I like with a
It's kind of a
concept.
story
With a
concept.
concept. You know what I'm saying?
Conceptual
It's
story.
following a certain.
When's the last time you really heard an album with interludes and skits, though?
From a rap artist?
0.99 Life FM, GT Swag, produced by Sal Good, but then again, that's
Put the plug.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
It's
Put the
been
plug
so
in.
long.
Yeah,
like
right.
really, it's
No,
been so long.
because the
really.
game done changed. And
Yeah.
then,
2016
like
December.
you saying, dealing with the millennials, the attention span and stuff of that nature has changed dramatically. To whereas, I don't even like the younger generation's not worried about skits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They worry about the next hit. Like
That's it.
it's like what's the next joint? What's it?
But that's interesting because I remember when Drake first came out and he had skits and interludes. Though to me, sometimes they used to be the best parts of the whole album. I'm like, wait a second, this was only 30 seconds, and then I'll put it on repeat and feel and imagine that it was a 3 minute and 30-second song.
Like,
and I'm like, that's the most creative skit. Or like, I mean, J. Cole does it in concert. I don't know if he does it on his album, but he does it in concert where he breaks apart his songs and he does. Explaining what's the importance behind it, and I'm like, oh, that's
like
dope.
one of the dopest artists that used to have like the flyest skits and everything was Redman. Redman's skits was crazy. Like he break down, then every
never
album
heard
he
it.
had Superman Lover. You know what I'm saying? So I used to like that. That is it because it's entertaining, and you like, yo, I can't wait for that. Like part 3.
Sometimes other people will be involved with doing your skits. Though, you ever heard of Diesel Dawn and the Governor?
No.
But they're from Jersey. And sometimes you be around certain individuals, like when Red was doing the cover of his skits,
Yeah.
Diesel Dawn and the Governor and them influenced some of them. Not to say all of them, but
Yeah.
you know, there was certain time, even when Wu first did, you know, their first album, they did the skits too.
Yeah, those was dope. Like
the best skits to me now was always Dr. Dre and them in the Dog Pound.
Oh, when they did that. Man, yeah.
Old school.
They did the
Yeah,
pyramids,
yeah.
and how you think today all of that shit came out.
Yeah.
Because of these skits, their skits was killer.
Yeah,
you know. So, like you said, but it's been a while. So
It's been a while since I heard
to really get into, but like I was just talking to somebody recently and said back when hip hop, you had to be more than just an MC. You had to be a fashion guru.
Yeah.
Like when LL came out with the Kango, or Slick Rick was with the Kango, or Houdini, Run DMC.
He should have had a chapstick line.
Heavy D.
Rock him.
He should have. He should. LL. He doesn't have a chapstick line. He should have had a chapstick line.
I don't think it was really so because you'd have licked it off. He may have had maybe lollipops or something, LL lollipops, but lip gloss or lip line, that shit wouldn't last on his lips. Yeah, I think that would have been a too metrosexual.
We went heavy into like a lot of conversation and history and everything, and I listened. I didn't get to listen to the album yet, but I listened to it on your IG, and I see like the skits of like partials of the videos and everything, and I gotta get it because it's on Tidal, so I'm gonna check it out.
You gotta check it out.
I love how you bringing back that.
He was playing a lot of. He was playing it just now.
He was playing some
talking.
of that. That
he wasn't
calm. That your wordplay is funny. You got some slick wordplay, man. You were saying some funny slick. So, but it brings back that era of like, yeah, man, this is so joint.
Well, it's supposed to be lyricism. It's not supposed to be 2-3 words just repeated over and yelling and screaming and shit of that nature. I didn't grow up, you know what I mean?
The same last word that rhymes.
Yeah, I mean,
it sounds like you're having a lot of fun though on the album. Like you had a lot of fun putting the album together.
Well, is this so much really just jammed in.
Yeah.
That it was easy flowing, and like I said, it was produced by Phantom. So me and him, we have chemistry. It's not too far off. Like, yo, I know what you need.
Yeah.
Like, I got you. Like, oh, you sound good on this one. So it was just like Foreman Mandela is I'm back. I'm here. I'm here to have fun. Before, when I was on MCA, and instead sometimes you have to turn the music, and they want to have creative control. This one is just like, this is it's the kid, man. Like, nobody, let me create my own, my own movement.
So coming from an era of creating a demo package, putting it in, sending it to the label, having them listen to the songs on the back. We don't like this is that, blah, say blah. Street team, marketing, bang, and now social media.
It just feels like this feels like how I was making, like I told you before, the Woo and the Wax. I was making music. It feels similar to whereas, like I said, when I used to make shit coming out of the crib and just put it on the 8-track, throw it on the cassette, feed it to the street. One of my homies would throw it in the Cunyon. And that shit was just rock, and some people was stealing your tape or they dubbing it. The Cunyons had to do a cassette, so people would be dubbing it right there. But people would steal your Brown Hornet tape, like, oh, you stole it, yo, I need, you know what I mean? So, like you said, the fun is back because now it's like, with so much of the same thing going on, I'm able to fill a void. You know, while everybody got synthetic, I got bass. While you selling microwavable pizzas, I'm selling homemade beef ribs. Like this shit cooked, like this was sitting and marinating and cooking.
Yes,
so it's gonna fall off the bone. It's different, man. So I know my stuff is different than what they serving you. Like they serving you the same rhetoric. Yeah. So that's why it's fun because the same people that told you, nah, generation ain't checking for that. No, nobody cares about lyricists no more. It'll never work. This is what I heard when I was doing it.
Yeah.
Before, and this was used to, but these are the individuals who are invested with the trap rap.
Yeah.
They got money. They got everybody with tight jeans on, and everybody's doing they got money invested in that.
Yeah, yeah.
So they was like, Pop, they don't want to hear that. Oh, they don't?
Yeah.
All right,
cool.
So now, as it snowball effects, you know,
Yeah.
you can't even really holler my way. Yo, do a remix. Do a joint. Do a collab with my.
Yeah. Would you like to do a collaboration with some of the lyricists that are available now?
I wouldn't mind, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say I would have to really. If you had a list,
You had to pick.
yeah. If I had a
Slim
list
pickings.
of 5 people, I would have to. Yeah, like you said, it would
Slim
be slim
pickings.
pickings.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind with some of them, but it'd be slim pickings on who I would do something with. Like I just ain't jumping out the window and just. Especially if you don't coincide. Like it's funny because you don't necessarily have to be. Like when I listened to when what was it, Noriega that made a song with Nas, I was like, those styles don't really.
Yeah, don't.
But when they made I Got the Body in the Trunk, son, it was just put together well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're on 2 different, you know what I mean? 2 different levels to me.
Yeah.
Still make good music on their own level, but I know Nas is like more lyrical where. No, he was more street.
Yeah,
He's more
yeah.
street. What? He just, you know what I mean?
The energy
so
is crazy. Yeah.
having them on the same, that's why I said I wouldn't be against making music with certain artists.
Yeah.
Just how it would mesh together.
What about any members of the W? Would you?
I
do a
wouldn't
joint?
be really fast or intrigued to do it.
Intrigued, okay. That's good to know. You know what I'm saying? So the album's out now. You know.
Foreman Mandela.
What's the goal you're reaching for this year?
I was really speaking upon that as well. I mean, there's 2 cents. You know, you got the sky's the limit, then there's no limit. So I don't even want to say there's a goal. I accomplished my goal by putting it out. Really, my goal is accomplished. Anything else that I have is extra.
Yes.
Because I was already told it couldn't be done, and no one's going to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
And listen to it, but we listen to it.
It's already been, you know. So I've already accomplished my goal.
Yeah. So I was gonna play. You gonna play something later on before? Because
play now. It's on you.
Almost towards the end.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna get flagged.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna get flagged because he got it on digital platforms.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They flag us. Yeah, man. This streaming stuff, man. You can't play nobody's music now.
Towards the end,
they
please.
will flag you ASAP.
The last minute, please.
You know what I'm saying?
So I figure like
I'll be getting the email saying partial of your video has been muted. I'm like, damn.
So I say we cut it off in another 10 minutes. The last 5 minutes, I'll play some joint.
All right. Play it. So we don't mind getting flagged at the end of the joint. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, it's for you. Even though you're here, they'll be like, "Well, do you have consent from the artist? He was on the show. Did you watch it? Did you watch YouTube? Did you watch it? No, you didn't. You know, man, it's crazy. This streaming stuff has really." It's done good for the game, but it's damaged the game a lot. Like you can't put nothing up now without the consent of the artist.
Yeah.
They don't care. Nothing. Do you own this? Do you what? I'd be getting killed with the appeals. I'd be like, yes. I'll take this. If they take me to court, I'll take this.
Right.
But you know, it's life.
So your show is very important to have people that at least hold a conversation. Then.
Yeah.
Because if we play,
don't just come up here with your music. Don't come up here with just your music.
You play my joint.
Oh, it's a rap.
Shots fired.
People be like, yo, we seen the interview, but we didn't hear shit. We didn't hear nothing. What happened? They muted you. Yo,
yeah. They got to be a great conversation.
We got to start filming on YouTube and this and that. Be like, yo, he's here. Let's go. But it's crazy. But yeah, the album's out. You know, what was the process of recording? Is it basement studio like the days, or is it just recording off the phone? Let me pass this down. Like, was y'all in the area together?
Well, with me, I went to Haas got a Phantom he produces out of Brooklyn.
Okay.
He goes to the studio out in Brooklyn too. It's like a whole bunch of producers, or should I say engineers in the building, you know, and he goes into one particular spot. But as far as writing rhymes and stuff, sometimes I have people that have studios where I mess around with, but I don't really do anything professionally out of them.
Yeah.
No, but I'll get a feel for a song or get something 60-70% done and bring it to a certain spot. You know, I don't write any of my rhymes on my phone. Once in a blue I do, because I work 731. I work, you know what I mean? I work construction, so I'm 731, local 731. There's times I'm at work and I've done a few songs like that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, rhymed inside of it and placed the song together, but most of the times I write it down.
I've seen a lot of people. Because a lot of people be like, yo, I don't even write it down. I just freestyle. I be like, yeah, it sound like it. It sound like you didn't write shit.
Oh my God. Oh, jeez. Coming for the next.
Man. Like, nah,
coming for people's whole career.
Because you know what it is? A lot of people think it's cool now just not to write it. Like, well, you got it.
It has to make sense. Artist,
it
has to
I didn't write it
well,
because you heard a couple of people do it. Like, bro.
Yeah, you say there's a few artists. What happens is like serving two masters is difficult for me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because like I said, I go to work and then I come home and I write and I just enjoy writing. You know what I mean? Like that's my first love. I was writing before I had a girl, before I was writing. You know what I mean? So that's my love. But when you're an artist, to say that's what you're getting paid for full term, there might be times where you could probably go in there and spit some rhymes that you don't write down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't say that's impossible. I know Snoop Dogg did that occasionally, the Old Dirty Bastards and stuff like that. So there's certain artists that can go in there and play
certain.
Yeah,
it's slim pickings of that one too.
Certain.
Slim pickings for
a
that.
lot of the artists don't even write their rhymes no more.
A lot of artists
so,
don't even know how to rhyme.
Or how to spell to write their own raps.
What they say hip hop is at like what, a third grade level, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh well. That's not hard to tell with some of these people, like some of these artists that like you just said. You see them. So that's why writing it and being up late nights or early mornings and just writing this album or what have you, because I have to critique it, man. If I get into a song, when you listen to some of the titles, or like the titles of the song, Mike Champ, you just can't just Foreman Mandela.
Yeah.
I got a song called Stapleton Fly. That's where I'm from, you know. So every song has definition and meaning to me. So I don't want to go. When I write it, it has to be critiqued. I just don't want to play around with one ball.
Yeah. And how long did it take to put this album together?
I would say it took longer than it had to, because like I said, I work and Phantom works and stuff like that. But we had it done within 2.5 months, and that's only because, like I said, we work.
Yeah.
If this is what we was doing
24/7.
Oh yeah,
it'd be a different story.
Yeah, it'd be a different story.
Now let me ask you something. Drake just put out his first album that he ever came out with, but with extra songs that was actually cut off. With this album, Foreman Mandela, did you have any songs that didn't make the cut that you have on the side or something, or these were the ones that you made and these are the ones that was gonna go there?
Yeah, but I have a ton of songs. Those songs right there, though, like I said, Phantom produced majority of it. You know what I mean? He has different artists as well.
Right.
So if he gave me certain beats, like I have 8. I wanted this to drop an EP, but when I put it for distribution, they said anything over 7 makes it an album.
Right.
So that's why it's an album. And I was going to just drop an EP, which would have been 5 quick joints, but I hate quick stuff like that. So, you know what I mean? But it was quick enough to be intriguing to have people want more. But once again, to answer your question, when he gave me the beats, I wrote to the beat and it was done. So he did 6 joints, and there was a producer called Dom Stacks out of Staten Island, up and coming. He did 2 tracks. I let him do 2 tracks on it, but 6 of them were done by Phantom. And when he gave me the beat, I wrote to it. And like I said, it wasn't whatever. The next week or within 2 weeks, I had the song. You feel me? Like we can't make it to the studio's booked this week. Let's go next weekend or whatever. Nobody's working, boom, and we go record it like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Are you planning on putting another project together?
Yes.
Anytime soon, or is it like?
Bravo trying to get on the album. That's why.
Let this marinate for like a year or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna let it marinate. But I'm also gonna work it, and I have a lot of people else that's working it as well. You feel me? So what I'm gonna do? I'm already at work with doing music. I have ideas, and I have a dude named Mike Baller Music. He has me. He's from out of Brooklyn, but he has a distribution across seas. So I'm gonna do a single for him as well, something separate. So I'm gonna be, you know, how artists, they'll drop something, and if they can feature on the right thing, I'll feature on it. And if things go right with how this turns out correctly, then I plan on maybe dropping. I'll definitely be dropping one by next year. But if it turns out to whereas this turns up and people are like, yo, what else you got? I'll do another. I'll probably do another. I'll do an EP. I make sure, regardless of anything,
keep it short and simple.
Yeah, come September, I'll drop an EP.
Yeah,
just to keep you. So by the second quarter next year, I have an album. I'll do something like that.
So Pop, check it out. Right now it is 7:48. We got 4 minutes. All right, you got 8 songs. Let's go 30 seconds for each song. Give everybody a snippet. And then we'll be done at 7:52. 7:52, we give our farewell. 7:54, we wrap it up.
We do our promos and pictures and promos.
Yeah, pictures and promos
Okay.
gonna be right after.
Okay.
No, because I'm gonna drop them right now. Oh, we could do it. Yeah, you're right. My fault. Let's do it.
What's going on? The blind leading the blind. Between love and hate, there's a thin line. Little youngin' ran up on me with the nigga playing nonsense. Sorry, yo, I gotta get mine. The world's going crazy. They done poisoned our babies. There's no more unity in the black community. No one sober. The drugs done took over. Got addicts snatching purses over old ladies' shoulders. Little kids scared to come outside. Bullets flying everywhere. No place to run and hide. If it's not a homicide, it's a suicide. In the concrete jungle, you're blessed to make it out alive. Got a bad epidemic, bodies just dropping. Another overdose due to pill popping. Do Black Lives Matter? Not to the Bumble fire. Bumble fire. When I was a teen, I used to run with a team. Now that I'm grown, left out alone, got my own regime. Let yourself grow, don't be scared to dream. I was a staple in the hood, now I'm seldom seen. Born to be great is what it says on my certificate. From day one, I was always on some different shit. Wins were hard to come by, losing it came easy. Now I'm moving up like George and Wheezy. From the hood to Hollywood, walk of fame. From bright lights, bold letters, you can read my name. Bomber has arrived, run and tell a friend. Never follow no one's footsteps, set your own trend. Fuck them in the long run, you don't need them. You can't put a price tag on your freedom. Nowadays, they don't respect the game.
First came the pain, then came the struggle. But even through it all, man, it ain't knocked my hustle. Cause homie, I done came from the bottom, but I'm grinding to the top. So you know I'm never ever gon' stop, never ever gon' I can't stop the hustling, no, no, I can't stop the grind. Even through the days where I was struggling.
Yo, I was raised to be a go-getter, real rhyme spitter. The big dog from the run, out of the litter. Took it from the block to the city to the globe. They tried to duplicate me, but they can't break the mold. Everybody talks a good one, but talk is cheap. There's no turning back, now I'm in too deep. Took a quantum leap, head first into the universe. The bomb is back, no need to start search. Grab the I'm from the city that never sleeps. Transporting in your bus, train, cars, and jeeps. SUVs and trucks. Keep the small chains, I'm chasing them big bucks. I got stacks on stacks of chips. So many singles, the strippers call me Pringles. My chocolate cookies call me Chips Ahoy. I stay misbehaving, I'm a naughty boy. Shit, I got money to burn. Either take it or wait your turn. Goodness come to those that wait, but Versace cover my eye. Either to block the haters or I'm hella high. Feet Louis Vuitton, ice drip. arm. Rings flooded with bling, and you would think I was Lance Swan. Polo socks, Gucci cologne, expensive watch, $2,000 phone. I stay casket sharp.
Bumble fire!
Pippin' and mackin' and pippin'. Don't mess with that bozo up, that clown ain't tippin'. It's been going on for centuries. Introduced to it in kindergarten, became one in elementary. Simple mathematics, you can't change what was meant to be. Mackin' and pimpin', Shaq and Wade, Jordan and Pimpin'. One walks with a swagger, the other one is limpin'. Tell them get paid up front before they start the stripping. Others. Royalties in your presence, shitting on you peasants, a bunch of cocksuckers, straight dumb motherfuckers. I'm tired of being nice. I'm back on my bullshit. 9 milli rap, hop back with the full clip, dumping on you hoes bent over for a payday. Pop the brown bomber, got y'all screaming out Mayday. That hit making, that neck breaking, that rump shaking. Hip hop true fans are used to. That BDP with a splash.
Man, them snippets was crazy, man. And you know what? You kept that New York feel, man. That classic sound, and especially bars.
Right.
Which you don't hear that, man. Those little 30 seconds of every song, perfect,
right.
brother.
Appreciate it.
Perfect.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Bars, man. It was a pleasure, man.
Oh man,
it was a pleasure.
Learned a lot.
We got some history.
Yeah, definitely.
History lesson.
We got some history. Yo, anytime I get some knowledge from someone that has been there, that has, like I said, put a part in history, you know what I'm saying? I feel different, man. And thank you for putting another resurgence of energy in me, man, and coming through.
I appreciate you guys having me to come through.
Pop, let them know, your IG handles, any shows
coming
up,
listen, boom. You can go on Instagram. You can catch me on pop_the Brown Bomber. All of them is underscore. So Instagram is Pop the Brown Bomber. Facebook, Pop the Brown Hornet. And Twitter is Pop the Brown Hornet as well. I really don't be tweeting, but you know what I mean? You can catch me on the platform. I do actually have a show tomorrow out in Jersey. An individual who gave me the distribution, Rob Swartz, Humag Distribution / Sony Orchard. He's having a birthday party, so I'll be attending there with a few individuals or what have you. So got a few other things lined up, a couple of interviews or so. I'll be busy for a little second.
You said Rob from Humag?
Rob Swartz from Humag Distribution and Humag Magazine.
Yeah, I used to do some work with Rob a couple of years ago when I was working with an artist named Dolo the Bandit. I gotta hit him up. I'm telling him something. I had Pop on my show, man.
Yo, we got no more time, man.
Thanks a lot, Pop the Brown Hornet.
Peace.
Stapleton, stay fly.
Hey yo, I see what's going on. The blind leading the blind. Between love and hate, there's a thin line. Lou Youngin ran up on me with the nickel plated nonsense. Sorry, OG, I got